Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sebastian Rondaga, and I thank you for joining us today on this beautiful Friday evening here at Desert Mountain, located deep onto Scottsdale. However, I am not alone today as I'm joining with my partner in crime, Stephen Buxton, today. Stephen, beautiful night out here at Scottsdale.
Sebastian, I'm glad to be here. It should be a good game. There's a lot to go off of last week. Desert Mountains rolling. They're 4-0. Their offense, they're averaging over 35 or 34 points a game. The defense is doing its thing. They're allowing just over 10 points a game. And on the other side, we've got a Campo Verde team who they've played a lot of tough competition and they're trying to get back in the win column.
Indeed, as we get the kickoff ready, we're going to have number 45, Kyle Stacy, kick off for the Coyotes. Right before we even joined in this live, we totally forgot the mascot for Campo Verde. Glad to see it was going to be a battle between Wolves and the Coyotes. It's going to be a great battle today. What do you expect today?
Well, Desert Mountain, we've emphasized it last week. Coach Hamilton has emphasized it. They just need to play more disciplined football. They're doing everything right on both sides of the ball except for the penalties. They need to get out of their own way. They've been winning. It's a good spot to be, but if they could clean up the game, who knows where they could go.
Indeed, as that first snap for the Wolves is going to be Brady McDonough holding in for the QB run. Approximately a gain of a good 6 yards there to start it off there. And, that's one thing when we emphasize about Desert Mountain and their offense is Brady McDonough coming back from an ACL injury last year and coming back in very fast timing, able to manage some yards with his own legs. As
Yeah.
we're good. As we're going to get ready for the second play here, Brady McDonough with the snap, looking for his favorite receiver of the year, Dylan Tabley, able to get a couple yards there for the first down. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, you mentioned McDonough coming off that ACL, and it was looking all fine and dandy. He was off to a hot start the first 3 games. But last week it might be his roughest game of the year. He was a little off. I mean, he was 13 of 26. He had 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he had 3 interceptions. He had a 54.8 quarterback rating. It was a rough week for the passing game, but they were still able to get it done on the ground.
Indeed, and that's something that important to mention as they get the next snap going, and they're going to hand it off to their number one running back, Matt Sheffrin, who made an absolutely exclamation point against Cactus High School, running for more than 100 yards and getting a pair of touchdowns. That's one of the talks that we had last week is who was going to be your player of the game, and ultimately it was Max Sheffrin, who, as you mentioned, the passing game wasn't connecting for Brady McDonough and the offense, but luckily they had a good fresh pair of legs in Max Sheffrin, and he was able to take over there. As we're going to continue on here, McDonough motions off Dylan Hip. He's looking for his favorite receiver once again. It's going to be Jack Freeberg going there on the right side of the field, making his first catch of the night, and that's something very important to emphasize. Jack Freeberg, number 2 receiver, clearly behind Dylan Tapley. He's going to have a great game today.
Yeah, and besides Freebird and Tapley, there's Hip too. They want to get him in action. He was their leading receiver last week, but he only had 2 catches. But on the offense or on the passing side, if McDonough still struggles this week, it's pretty easy to win if they continue what they did last week, averaging over 6 yards a carry on the ground.
Indeed, and it's not only Max Sheffrin, Brady McDonough. He's able to hold on to that ball and able to get a couple yards of his own as well. As you have a quick motion here to Dylan Hip onto the right side. He's looking to pass again. He's going to find Jack Freeberg open on the slot. He's going to pick up the extra first down there, and just like that, the chains continue for the Wolves. And this is exactly what we see for the Wolves. Their offense, they get that first drive, and last week was no pointer as well. It only took them 3 plays in the running game to take it to the house. Props to Max Sheffrin. Right now, it's been more a passing game with Brady McDonough. You think that's more of a trying to get himself into the field and not make the errors like he did last game?
Well, it's getting him in the field. It's getting him some easy reads, but it's also you can't completely just focus on only running the ball. This is a power running offense. They play downhill, but a lot of that running opens up the play action. It opens up the screens. It opens up a lot of the underneath stuff for McDonough. But when he's getting sacked like that, it's not going well.
Indeed. As we're going to have Campo Verde, number 86, Hayden Fairservice making the big play there. Not sure what happened there, so we're going to have a quick early injury timeout for Campo Verde. We'll get you the notice of which jersey number is currently on the floor. But so far, 5 plays so far. We're just approaching 9 minutes here in this first quarter. What have you been seeing so far on both sides?
Well, let's just start with Desert Mountain. Obviously, I said it and I'll say it again. They're a downhill team. They just play downhill. They're fast. They're physical. Once they get a lead on you, they're trying to run away with it. And offensively, if they can keep Dylan Hip playing a whole game, he's been a little banged up this year, but he was able to stay in the game last week. If he can stay in all game, if he can make his full impact, he's huge in the blocking. He's huge in the receiving. He's a really big athletic target. That might be the key to completely unlocking this offense. For defensively, Campo Verde just has to clean it up. They have to do better. They're averaging way over 30 points a game against them this year. They just need to do better.
Indeed, and just like you mentioned, Dylan Hip, a big part in the offense. He also makes a really big impact on the defense as well, which we'll get to that once Desert Mountain's on the board. We're going to see the first play action here. Journey Solomon going onto the right side. He's going to get the ball in deep from Brady McDonough. He has some open space. He breaks the first tackle, goes off there, gets a good extra yard after carriage, and I believe that's going to be a first down to move the chains once again. Three straight first downs here for Desert Mountain.
Again, when you get this running game going, screens like that open up really well. And with this Desert Mountain team, they're so fast, they're so athletic. Getting a guy in space like that, getting him with one blocker, you got a one-on-one here. Just he can make one man miss, and all of the yards after catch, it's huge for this offense. And they're really able to attack teams like that.
Brady McDonough gets the snap, looking for his favorite receiver, and Dylan Tapley doesn't see much, just has to keep it towards, and he's able to get great yardage there. Able to pick up just short of the first down, and it's going to be number 25, Jackson Stumblefield, making the tackle there for the Coyotes. It will be indeed a first down, fourth first down of the drive here. They're approaching the red zone of the Coyotes.
Yeah, a bit of a change from last week. We didn't see a ton of running out of Brady last week. Obviously, he had 26 yards, but he only had 4 carries. There's a quick carry right there for the first down. Let's see if he continues it throughout the game.
Indeed, as Brady McDonough on the backfield once again, motions. It's going to be number 6, Max Sheffrin back into his left. He's going to indeed hand it off to Max Sheffrin. Sheffrin looking for a quick space there. Gets a couple of yards after the tackle stop made there by number 3, Cash Tappan. Making a stop there, approximately gain of 4 yards there. And just like you mentioned, going from the backfield, it looks like he's going to pass it. Motions Max Sheffrin into the back, hands it off there, able to pick up some good hard yards there. As now we get the huddle ready here. Coyotes approaching the red zone here. I believe they're just 5 yards short of the red zone. We're going to see what happens here. Johnny Solomon, Dylan Tapley on the right. Jack Freeberg on the left. Brady McDonough going to motion Dylan Tapley. Decides to fake it there. Hands it off. It's going to be a QB sneak. Bit of a all over the place. I thought he handed off to Max Sheffrin. Decides to keep it there. It's going to be batted down by Campo Verde. It's going to be number 24, Aiden Valles, making the big play there.
That's a great play by Valles. He's able to get out in space. He's able to hurry up McDonough, but most importantly, just getting up and batting that ball down. Being able to get into the passing lanes is going to be really huge for this Campo Verde defense.
Indeed. And now it's going to be 3rd and long. First third down here for the Wolves. See, we're able to, quite honestly, steamroll those first couple of plays here. Brady going to motion 2 players onto the left side there, Dylan Hip, and I believe that was number 21. Lucas Bulumi, he's going to hand it off to Jack Freeberg there. And Jack Freeberg has open space and able to make most of it happen and get the first down. Just like that. And, the untraditional carry from Jack Freeberg, usually Max Sheffrin or Ryan McDonough, the brother, Brady McDonough usually gets those handoffs. Jack Freeberg able to get that good handoff, and he makes the work happen there.
Well, the big thing is Desert Mountain's got receivers out there that are willing to block. Tapley's out there throwing blocks. You've got Hip out there. I mean, I know he's a tight end, but you've got them out there blocking in space, making room for Freeberg to be able to get such a huge gain.
Indeed, as Brady McDonough gets the snap there, hands it off to Max Sheffrin, but immediately met on the line of scrimmage. It is going to be Jackson Stubblefield making the big play there. Good 2 plays on this drive for the Coyotes defense.
Yeah, Stubblefield, and I thought I saw Valles out there too. It's a great play by them. They're able to just penetrate that line really quickly, and they had nowhere to go.
Yeah, and that's one of the key factors that happened last week with Brady McDonough. He did not have a good game on that passing yards, and part of that is because not too much time in the pocket, able to protect your quarterback. It's so important, as we're gonna have another We're going to have our first penalty of the game here on the first drive, and it looks like it's going to be a false start on the Wolves. And Steven, what's something that you don't want to see in today's game?
Well, let's take a guess. Oh, I don't know. Penalties? It's anytime you talk to Coach Hamilton, he'll say it and he'll say it again, and he'll just keep saying it until it gets fixed. They have to play more sound football. They have to get rid of those penalties. This team is too good to get in their way like this. Coach Hamilton knows and the team knows they could be lifting a trophy at the end of the year, but the big thing is, are they going to get in their own way?
Indeed. The flag causes 5 yards. It's going to be 2nd and goal. They cannot get the first down here, so it's going to make a bit more of a journey here. He's going to hand it off there. He's going to pitch it to, I believe, it's going to be his brother. Couldn't quite make sure there. It is going to be a touchdown for the Wolves, as we're going to confirm who indeed got the pitch there. And it is going to be Max Sheffrin, able to get his 3rd touchdown in the last 2 games. Although we do have a penalty, it is going to be a face mask on the Coyotes. Touchdown still stands for the Wolves there. Max Sheffrin picks up his 5th touchdown of the year.
Sheffrin's been so huge for this team. He's been such an integral part of this offense. I mean, Coach Hamilton has said that the offense runs through first the line, and then it runs through that running game, which has been powered by Sheffrin the whole year. Sheffrin is able to, he just gets past everyone on the corner, and he's able to just speed up right over to the end zone. He beats a guy who had a bad angle on him right out over by the line of scrimmage, and it's just a great play by him.
Indeed, and just like what occurred last week, as we're going to prepare the extra point for Alex Weeks, or would be interesting enough to see if Coach Hamilton would go for the 2-point here, but I believe probably be more conservative and go for the extra point. And then it will indeed be a face mask on the Coyotes as they'll prepare for the extra point. But just like what occurred last week at Cactus High School, it will be a touchdown for Max Sheffrin to start off the drive.
Yeah, it's about as good of a start to this game as you can ask for the Wolves. Just the running game's going, the passing game's looking good, the line's holding up. It's given Brady time. You couldn't ask for a better first drive.
Indeed, as we're going to get ready for the extra point here and potentially make it 7-0 Wolves to start it off. 6 minutes drive to cap it off there on the first drive. And now the Coyotes will prepare for the offense as the extra point is good. 7-0 here, halfway through the first quarter. And Steven, offense made a point there. Now what are you expecting here for the Wolves defense?
Well, again, it's the trenches. Can they dominate in the trenches throughout? Cassius Atherton and Tony Cumberland had huge games, both of them last week.
Indeed.
Atherton had a sack. He had 5 tackles. He led the team. And Tony Cumberland, he had 4 tackles. He had half a sack. And obviously, we got to bring up that 3-yard reception for the goal line touchdown.
The big man gets his big touchdown. Let's see if we bring out some of that magic today and more about the defense. Tony Cumberland does lead the Desert Mountain line with 3.5 sacks on the year. Elijah Mears, underrated cornerback, right behind Wilson Santana, the Texas commit. Cannot forget, he leads with 2 interceptions on the year. And obviously, Brian McDonough, key factor in the offense as well, but also makes his presence known in the defense, leading each game with 6 tackles in 4 weeks.
Yeah, sometimes, in my prep for this, and sometimes when you're just looking at this team, you almost forget if you're just looking at the stats, you almost forget about Santana Wilson. And that's just because no one throws at him. I mean, he's locked down receivers all year, and there's not a ton of stats because, again, he just doesn't get chances. No one looks his way because more often than not, he's right on his opponent, and that's why Texas is really, really excited to get this guy in their building.
Indeed, and just like you mentioned, he made most of that. I believe the last time I said his name was on week 2 when he went week 3 against Chaparral when he had the big task of covering Plash Johnson. And you know how that game went. Such a terrific game. And now we're in week 5. Campo Verde taking on Desert Mountain. Desert Mountain has the lead here early in this first quarter. And it's going to be interesting how this Desert Mountain's Wolves really adapt. Last week, you saw them play. They had those 3 drives against the Cactus High School's offense, and they forced 3 and outs. It was quick. It looked like this game was going to be a blowout until Desert Mountain allowed the touchdown to Boncori Montoya, And all of a sudden, you felt like it was going to be a very intense game. The offense started going dry. The defense wasn't making much of a play here. But at the end of the day, they were able to really control themselves, get good access into the field, and able to come out victorious. And now they have a big task today, taking on against Campo Verde and the offense.
Yeah, this defense is so good. They can have games like that, and the defense can carry them to wins. The defense and running game can carry them, but can they play a whole game? Both sides just get rid of the penalties.
Indeed, as the quarterback for Campo Verde will be Trayson Shahan for the offense. He's going to be leading the team today. A bit more information about Trayshawn. Currently averages around 118 yards per game, and he total so far in those first 4 weeks is 354, 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. So obviously wanting to protect the ball as much as he can, and he has a big task against him against this Wolves defense.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for this Coyotes offensive line to hold up against the pass rush. They're so mobile up front. They give you so many different looks, and the linebackers are just flying around.
And it's going to be Trayshawn throwing an interception, and who else but Elijah Mears, the leader in interceptions in the season. First pass attempt for Shahan, and just like that, interception for Elijah Mears. He gets his first interception of the game. And more importantly, I got to talk with Elijah Mears before this game started, and I told him, hey, let's get one today. And just like that, he heard it on the first pass attempt. He gets it ready for Desert Mountain, and just like that, Desert Mountain's offense in prime position.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better situation, but Mears, that's a great play by him. Shahan just complete. It wasn't a horrible pass, but he just overthrew it on that slant over the middle, and Mears just jumped the route and was able to get up and make an athletic play. Had a great run back, and Desert Mountains did business inside the red zone.
Indeed, and I believe he was targeting Hayden Jolly on there, but Elijah Mears with the better position, better goal there, he able to get the good interception there, and just like that, you wanting to protect the football, and the first attempt you throw, it's going to be an interception. Not the way you want to start off there, but now it's going to be up to the defense Coyotes to make a play here as Brady McDonough looks for the pass attempt. Just misses Dylan Tapley. Excuse me, the voice cracked there, but Dylan Tapley was wide open on the quick slant. Just missed him there. Not a great throw there from Brady McDonough.
Yeah, last week, it wasn't turnovers that got them against Hamilton, but they did throw an interception. Campo Verde did. They did have a fumble. It's not going to help them, but it's not the huge issue. I mean, obviously, when you're down 30 against Hamilton, the 2 turnovers isn't going to completely change the game, but they can't continue this going into today.
Indeed, as Brady McDonough gets the snap ready, he gets the handoff. He's going to hand it off to his favorite running back, Max Sheffrin. I say favorite to every single player on this team. You know, do I have a point there? Is every single player on the team favorite?
Well, I mean, Sheffrin is. He probably leads the team in carries by a mile. Let me check my stats right here.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Sheffrin, he's been making some positive action going, positive players. Probably a gain of maybe one, probably made up for no gain there, but just like that, you know, this is the exact position there you want to be here if you're the Coyotes. Your quarterback, Shahan, just threw an interception. You're in bad position there. It's going to be first and goal, and now it's third and goal. See what the Coyotes could cook up here. So you're going to get ready for the play here. Motion on to Jack Freeberg going to the right side. As McDonough is going to run to this right side, trying to look for his receiver. He finds someone. It's going to be Dylan Tapley for the big reception there. He takes a big hit at the very end. That doesn't matter. He holds on there, and he gets redemption for that first play. He gets his touchdown. And if the stats go correctly here, Steven, I believe that's going to be his 6th touchdown of the year for Dylan Tapley.
Yeah, Tapley's been an absolute touchdown machine. If there was fantasy football for high schools, he's probably a top 5 pick just because, I mean, 6 touchdowns on the year. He's averaging just under 80 yards a game. I mean, he's been an absolute machine for this offense.
Indeed, picks up his 6th touchdown of the year. Alex Sweet's extra kick is good. 14-0 here, approaching 4 minutes on the first quarter here. Already down by 2 possessions. Props to that interception and the great, excellent drive that Desert Mountain have to send off this game. If you're the Coyotes here, Campo Verde, what are those question marks? What do you need to do here?
I mean, I'm just telling the team, calm down. We're just under a quarter into the game. You've got the rest of the game to play. Just keep playing your style of football. Keep playing physical. Just try and stick to the game plan. You can't get out of sorts already, but if they fall apart again on this drive, well, not fall apart, but if something drastic happens on this drive, it might not be a good look.
Indeed, as Trayson Shahan is going to get the offense back together again. First pass attempt was intercepted. You think that's going to build any this confidence, losing the ability to just want to throw in the ball and just going to hand it off here in these drives?
I mean, you can't just ditch the passing game that quickly. It was one pass. You gotta still keep the playbook open, but it's how quickly can they, or how long can they keep giving up plays like that?
Indeed.
Again, it's one play,
Yep.
but can they get something going on the running game?
Indeed, as we're going to have a quick penalty flag on the kickoff. Motioning false start for the defense. I'm not sure what the hand signal was on the back ump there. As the ball position is going to be right on the 35-yard line. I believe it was going to be the penalty on the ball going out of bounds on kickoff. And Campo Verde, instead of starting from their own 5-yard line, is going to be on the 35-yard line here. And he got a good prime position here as Shahan back on the field here, motioning his running back onto this back. It's going to be number 7, Ethan Ferber. He's going to get the catch there off the screen and unable to make much happen there. Probably a good gain there of 2 yards. Will be 2nd and 8 for the Wolves, or for the Coyotes, excuse me.
Yeah, there's nowhere he could go right there. I mean, Desert Mountain had Ryan McDonough, and they had Santana Wilson over there right away. I mean, there's nothing that Campo Verde was able to do. There was just too many Desert Mountain bodies on the ball.
And that's exactly what Desert Mountain brings. You have a lot of stars. Y'all know what their job is, what their purpose is, and able to make the huge tackle there. As Shahan gets his next snap ready, he's going to hand it off. It's going to be a passing play. Number 5, Bobby Blackburn, able to get some good trickery for Campo Verde, but he just ends up overthrowing his target, Carter Haygood. He was wide open. There was hardly any Desert Mountain defenders in the vicinity of 15 yards at least. That would have been going to the house for the Coyotes there if Blackburn's throw was on target.
Yeah, that's just blown coverage on the Desert Mountain side. It looked like they had 2 high safeties, maybe running cover 2, but on the Campo Verde side, whoever was the corner over there either just missed his assignment or got beat, because there's no reason for a receiver to be open by 25 yards.
Indeed, has at least has some positive to take out here if you're the Coyotes, making some good plays and bringing out the trickery as Trayson gets the snap going there. He's going to hand it off to Bobby Blackburn, who just made the pass attempt last time, but just going to be short on the first down yard there. Lots of bit of my wording there, and it will be a 3 and out for the Coyotes. They are forced to punt.
And not being able to take care of it, it's, again, can Campo Verde take advantage of these opportunities? There's blown coverage there, and they're not able. It turns what would have been 1st and 10 well, actually, not even 1st and 10. It would have been a touchdown. They would have been on the board. But instead, it goes straight to a 3 and out. You just can't miss opportunities like that against a team this talented.
Indeed, as the punt gets ready for the Coyotes, we'll head out of bounds. Just under the 30 mark line will be 1st and 10 for the Coyotes at the 30-yard line. Good position here for the Wolves as they're going to get their offense going. They lead 14-0, just under 3 minutes in the first quarter. They're going to try to add more onto their tally here, and just a bit more. We'll be corrected into the 31-yard line. Props to the announcer. They're going to get the offense going. Great start here for Brady McDonough and the Wolves offense. More question marks around Coyotes defense. They're going to try to get back into this game as Brady McDonough's first snap. Fake handoff to Max Sheffrin, able to find Journey Solomon for the gain of approximately 14 yards. Pick up another first down here for Journey Solomon, and, out of nowhere, Solomon making his presence known in today's game.
Yeah, this Desert Mountain offense, it's really creative. There's a lot of movement to it. They had the misdirection. They had Dylan Hibb motioning out to that side, and the fake handoff, just the misdirection, all of the movement, it gets guys open in space, and they're able to pick up a big first down there.
Big first down. Sheffrin gets motion onto the left side. McDonough looking for the quick pass to Dylan Tapley again. Gets met up there by the defender, Gunnar Hill, making the big tackle there off of Dylan Tapley, but nonetheless, quick gain of 3 yards there for Dylan Tapley. And something I've been noticing is Brady McDonough not holding onto that ball and just throwing those quick releases, really giving me like a lot of insight of Marcel Jones when they played against Chaparral here 3 weeks ago, and just those quick passes, just throwing it and let the team make the plays there, and just like that, Brady McDonough, I'm sure his QB rating so far is probably perfect. I didn't see a drop pass yet. Actually, I'm gonna take it back. The drop pass to Dylan Tapley on that last drive as Sheffrin gets motion onto the left side. He's gonna get the handoff. No, will be a fake. Brady McDonough decides to keep it. He's making big work with his own legs, able to get good yardage there, and taking out of bounds, just short to the 25-yard line. We'll be ended on the 30-yard line of Campo Verde. A good gain there of approximately 20 yards. And just like that, Brady McDonough showing that he could run the ball as well.
Yeah, that's all Brady right there. I mean, he shoots the gap right away, no hesitation, and breaks a couple tackles. He's able to get a good, hard, physical run and 20 yards for the Desert Mountain offense.
Desert Mountain, they just continue to strike here as Jack Freeberg gets motion onto the left side. Brady McDonough gets the snap here. He's looking onto his left. Doesn't see much happen. Still says keep the ball. It's the lineman giving him plenty of time there. Just chucks it away. Ends up going to throw it to Jack Freeberg. Just short. Marked there by number 24 on Campo Verde. Aiden Valles in protection there. But it looks like it's going to go on Desert Mountain. We have a bit of a dirty laundry. Will be indeed a holding call on the Wolves there. And just like that, more dirty laundry on the field.
And you mentioned Jones from Chaparral. That's the big news in Arizona high school football right now. He just transferred over to Saguaro.
Saguaro indeed. Big program.
One of the big class of 2026 prospects. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to play for the rest of the year because of the transfer rules, but he should be a huge piece for them going forward.
It's going to be interesting how he plays out his last couple years at Saguaro, leaving Chaparral. Brady McDonough gets a snap there. Fakes the pump attempt. Just going to go up and get as much yards as he can. Just met up there by Jackson Stubblefield. And you know what? Despite the score here, Stubblefield making his name known here.
Yeah, Stubblefield's a huge part of this team. But we'll emphasize it again. This is what penalties do to you. Desert Mountain was in a good spot, 1st and 10. They had a good play. But after a penalty, after one bad play, it's 3rd and a mile.
3rd and a mile indeed. But we've seen this action before. Wouldn't be surprised if we have another handoff here to Jack Freeberg. He was able to make some action happen. That's going to be a 2 running back backfield for Brady McDonough.
I'm sorry, I'm not a math guy. It's 2nd and a mile.
Is it 2nd? I thought it was 3rd as well. Actually, you know what? You're right. Big play there. Brady McDonough met by the lineman, and who else but Jack Stubblefield there. Meeting Brady McDonough there, forcing the bad throw, and now it's going to be 3rd and a mile.
Yeah, that's Stubblefield and Maddox Pierce. They're able to just shoot the gaps right through that Desert Mountain line. The line that they've done a really good job so far this year. They had Brady a little hurried last week, but he didn't take a ton of sacks. He still had time to get the ball out. He was getting hurried, but they held up pretty well still. This week, it might be a different story.
Different story indeed as Brady McDonough gets ready for the snap. Looks it forward, trying to look for Dylan Tapley. He indeed throws it that way, but ends up finding, I believe that's Dylan Hip, making his first catch of the night. And just like that, if it's not Dylan Tapley or Jack Freeberg, you have Journey Solomon and Dylan Hip in the backfield. Just an absolute great play there, great throw from Brady McDonough to able to find Dylan Hip.
Yeah, you mentioned Journey Solomon. I thought that's who he was going to go to. He had Solomon wide open on the flat for a bit of a check down, but he tested, he gets the big completion right for the first down, or close to the first down.
That's the end of the first quarter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this small break.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sebastian Mendaka. Thank you for joining us here in the second quarter. We have Campo Verde taking on Desert Mountain. Desert Mountain leading 14-0. I'm joined with Steven Buxton. We're going to get the second quarter on the way here. It's going to be interesting what happens as Brady McDonough gets the snap here, fakes the pass, fakes the handoff, ends up handing it off or passing it to, I believe, Journey Solomon. Hard to make sure who was in that vicinity there. So we're going to confirm as the player is currently down. It's going to be Lucas Bloomley making the catch for his first reception of the day. And, now that we have him highlighted, he's currently down. Hopefully he's okay. But more about Lucas Bloomley. Able to get the first pick six for the Wolves last game.
Yeah, he's been such a key part of this defense. He's just flying around all over the field every single game. I mean, offense, defense, he's a big part of this team, and Desert Mountain's gonna miss him if he's hurt at all.
Yeah, he plays a good offense. Every time I look at him, I just can't get it out of he plays like a fullback position because he's such a good player, great size, and able to make a lot happen there. So hopefully he's okay after that big hit, and hope to see him continue on. It looks okay. Looks like he's just shaking it off. He's gonna have his one play break as required, and it's gonna be second and approximately 8 yardage here for the Wolves. It looks like it's gonna be 1st and 8 for the Wolves. Jack Freewer gets motion onto the right side. McDonough gets the snap there. Looking his right side, trying to find Jack Freewer. Ends up getting caught, I believe, Max Sheffrin. It is Dylan Tapley in the area. I didn't even quite tell. It's so far from here. And he's shaking up after that play as well. Probably got hit in the stomach. Lost a grasp of air. You don't like getting hit in the stomach area when you start breathing and panicking. So hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, we just all we can hope is that these kind of things are just a guy got the wind knocked out of him. Looks like he's going to be okay running off the field on his own. But on the Campo Verde side, how much pressure can they apply to this offense? Can they force any kind of mistakes from Brady McDonough? Can they force any kind of turnovers? Can they force a 3-and-out?
The 3-and-out would have to wait as Desert Mountain on their own red zone here. It's going to be a quick timeout, I believe, on Desert Mountain. Probably getting their thoughts corralled and trying to probably get Dylan Tapley back into this play because red zone position, you always got to be scared of Dylan Tapley. His great pushes and the slant routes, he always just has at least 2-3 yards of separation. He makes the great play there. So we'll see what Coach Hamilton figures out here on the huddle. And on the other side, Coach Freeman, what do you think he's talking with his folks right now?
I'm telling the team just what I said. Try and apply pressure. If I'm Coach Freeman, I'm dialing up all of the blitz packages you can. Just keep hurrying McDonough. Get to McDonough. Make sure this team can't pass. If they can run it, honestly, figure it out at that point. But if you can eliminate the passing game, you got to eliminate one stage of their game.
Indeed. Eliminating it is one of their packages. And I like how you bring up the blitz as well, because last week, against Cactus, there was a good plays and a couple of blitz plays. And when Brady McDonough, when he's in a rush, he's getting hurried. He doesn't really protect the ball as well. But will be a handoff here to Max Sheffrin. It would break off a couple tackles there. Just tripped up short to the first down. It's going to be Jackson Stubblefield. Okay, just to confirm, it is going to be 3rd and 5. I was scared to see the playmaker change the plays. So we'll be 3rd and 5, just short of the first down here, trying to get into position and trying to continue the change here, trying to add on to their lead. As the play gets remodeled here, getting everyone orchestrated there. Jack Freeber gaining motion to the left side. Dylan Tapley, Journey Solomon waits. As Madonna's looking that way, goes the opposite way, finds Dylan Tapley onto the court route, and gets tackled just short of the first down. It's going to be number 26, Dorian Gonzalez, making the play there. Or excuse me, it's going to be Stubblefield once again, making the play there. He's making the heart of the defense here for Campo Verde.
Yeah, and you mentioned last week for Desert Mountain, if I'm Coach Freeman, I looked at that game. the first 3 quarters of that game is the closest any team other than Chaparral has played Desert Mountain. So I'm looking at that, and I'm trying to hurry up Brady McDonough. Keep that internal clock. Just hurry it up. Don't let him make his reads.
As Coach Hamilton decides to go for the field goal here, Alex Weeks, what a great kick there, and that's obviously something you highlight when you look at a high school team. The kicker, obviously not the most important factor of the entire team, but it plays a role. And, I feel like Coach Hamilton always feels grateful to have Alex Weeks in the back of his head in case he needs to kick a field goal, doesn't feel confident in going for it. And you have Alex Weeks, and such a great kicker, able to make some good points there and making the play go from nothing and getting 3 points off of that drive and 17-0.
Yeah, and Coach Hamilton's such an aggressive coach. He's so aggressive offensively, defensively, and just the play calling in general. I'm honestly kind of surprised they didn't try and go for it on fourth right there.
Surprise indeed, Obviously already being up 14-0, you get the stop there and, Campo Verde still in terrible position there. So you do make a point there. Nonetheless, 3 points sounds better than nothing. But we'll see how it happens. Here's Alex Queets is going to get ready for the kickoff. Will be number 4, Brody Decker, ready for the kickoff. Looks like we'll be in play. He gets the possession of the ball, and he's going on to the left side of the field, getting met up immediately, but able to break into the corner, get a good couple yardage there. Small yardage increment there, ultimately met up.
Yeah, I don't know what he saw there. Brody Decker took that from right at the goal line. I don't know what he saw there, and Campo Verde is going to be starting off right past the 10-yard line.
Not thinking about it, Desert Mountain would have gone for it there and not completed it. It's just the exact position they would have been in the offense. So, guess we'll never know. But Campo Verde's offense is back on the field. Trayson Shahan trying to answer some questions here. And behind him is Ethan Ferber, and he's going to get the ball on the handoff there from Shahan, unable to make much happen, met up right on the line there. And when you're running it against the Desert Mountains defense, that's very ambitious because you have Tony Cumberland and Cassius Atherton right there waiting for you.
Yeah, and the running game has really powered this Campo Verde offense throughout this season. Obviously, again, it's 1-3. They're still trying to get the season going, get some wins piled up. But their running game has been a bright spot. For the first 3 games, they average well over 100 yards a game. Last week, it's a bit of a different story, though. Against Hamilton, they only had 62 rushing yards. So it's going to be really important for them to get it going today.
It is. We have yet another handout there, but met up by Lucas Blooming. And also just the heart of the defense for Desert Mountain. The big linebacker playing all over the field. Every time there's a tackle, you always expect Lucas to be on top of that dog pile. And he makes a great tackle there. And he's going to add on to more. And now 3 and approximately 7 yards for the Coyotes. And they have a big hole here. They don't want to force yet another 3 and out. So they're going to get the play ready here. Going to see what they have in motion here. Going to play Ferber up close, fakes the handoff, meets up with number 5, Bobby Blackburn, making his presence not on the offense, but just short as the Desert Mountains defense makes the big play there. And who else but Lucas Bloomy with that tackle again. 2 tackles on just this drive alone.
Yeah, Sebastian, I don't really know what was going on there as far as whether it's the play calling, whether it was just the reads, or whether it was just on the quarterback. I'm not sure why the decision was made right there. The receiver's not even near the chains. He's not going to get the first down, and you're basically just accepting a 3 and out right there.
Accepting it indeed. Not a great punt there from the punters. Quite hard to make out the jersey number. Will be number 33. Cash Tappan it's going to be just a short punt. Wolves will start at the Coyotes 45-yard line. And just like that, prime position for the Wolves. The last 3 drives resulted in points. Can this drive be any different?
Yeah, now this is really the time of game where Desert Mountain just absolutely feasts. They get to start really emphasizing on that aggressive running style. They'll throw in the play action every now and then. They'll sometimes get those big chunk plays, but this is where they start to play downhill with a lead, and more often than not, they don't look back.
Indeed, they just start running away with the game as Max Sheffer motions on to the left side. McDonough doesn't even look at that. He's looking far and deep, trying to find Jack Freeberg. Just overthrown over Jack Freeberg's head. No one in the vicinity able to make a good play there. And, you know, something interesting to know is that Brady McDonough, when he looks deep, and it's to anyone other than Dylan Tapley, it's usually not a great pass and not a great throw. You know, obviously Dylan Tapley, a very big guy, over 6 foot, and he's able to make those one-on-ones possible. But other than that, Brady McDonough just unable to connect with his receivers for more than 20 yards if it's not Dylan Tapley.
Yeah, they've got to really try and get that connection going with the other 3 receivers. But on Campo Verde's defense, Brody Decker was running stride for stride with Freeberg downfield.
Indeed.
Even if the pass was online, it was still going to be a 50-50 ball.
Max Sheffrin with the big run there, and he is currently down right now. He got the great handoff there, and at the very end of the play, it was a very, very bad hit. Or I should say awkward hit. I'm not really sure what happened as everyone's really huddled up there. All we know is Max Sheffrin is currently down on the field. Hopefully he is okay. Such a key player for the Wolves offense. How big of a loss would that happen if he's not okay? So hopefully he does okay, and, you know, we're gonna pinpoint off of that. Hopefully he's okay. He's gonna get checked up off by the team's medicals, and we're gonna go hit a quick break after what just occurred. Hopefully he is okay. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi everyone, my name is Jackson Webster, and I'm a senior at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Max Sheffrin is okay. He was able to get up with his own power, so it's great to see that. Hopefully he's able to play out the rest of his game, and hopefully he rushes up pretty well. He's going to take a quick seater here, probably out a couple games here. Nonetheless, able to make some great yards here. Third and a manageable here for the Wolves. Ryan McDonough gets featured on for the first place in the offense, gets immediately met up by the Coyote. He had some green grass in front of him, but luckily, just met up there by number 8, Hayden Jolly, making the big tackle there off of Ryan McDonough and forced the 4 and approximately 1 yard line here. It looks like the Wolves are going to go for it here. And we're going to see what happens here. Brady McDonough keeps it. It's going to be a QB sneak going up, able to get the yardage here, but we do have Laundry on the field, a flag. Interesting to see who is going to be on there. Would be huge here if it was on the Desert Mountain. It's going to stop the drive here, and it's going to force the punt coming up.
Yeah, Sebastian, let's just go back to that last play, though. That pass out to, or that handoff to McDonough, he just had nowhere to go. That's a great play by the Campo Verde defense. They just had more guys over there. And it didn't help that Journey Solomon missed a block out wide, and Freeberg didn't have a ton on his guy. They were able to just get right past him and blow up the play right away.
As I was quite unsure what the call was, but it looked like it might be a holding call on Desert Mountain. 10 yards added. Actually, no, it's going to be a false start on Desert Mountain. Probably a little bit of a shaky there when you want to hand out the QB sneak there. 5 yards added, and Hamilton will remain aggressive, and they're going to go for here on 4th and 6 in their enemy territory here. And if Campo Verde is able to stop them here, it's going to be the first 3 and out on the Wolves. So just like you mentioned, a positive takeout here for Campo Verde, but the 4th down, or actually it won't be a 3 and out, it's going to be 4th down. I lost a lot of track there, and it's going to be yet another false start. These false starts are getting my head a little bit confused here, Steven. You know, what do you see all those last 2 plays there?
Well, the line's just moving before the whistle. That's all you really got to say. There's not much you can do other than just stay still and listen to the snap count. You really got to clean this up. There's no reason to have you're right around 5 penalties this early in the game.
And Diaz, it's almost blocked there by Cash Tappan, and he just ultimately stopped there. Punt goes into the end zone, will be a touchback for Campo Verde. They'll start at their own 25 there, and the punter for Desert Mountain, Tyler Stafford, able to get the punt off there. You saw that it was almost a blocked punter. Pretty sure he didn't want to get any penalties on there and just stopped just a bit short there. Campo Verde with the ball, now you can say forcing the 3 and out on the Wolves, and they start off at their own 25. Offense needs to get going here if they want to come back in this game. We're just under 6 minutes in the second quarter.
Yeah, now we're not getting in the time yet, but you can't completely just rely on the running game now. You got to get the passing going. You got to get some guy open downfield, get some space. You've got to get chunk plays. You're already down 3 scores, and you're almost at half.
As it's going to be another penalty flag on the field. Trayson Shahan was immediately met by the one and only Tony Cumberland. And the backfield, luckily Shahan able to throw the ball away with no one in the vicinity. But there was a penalty.
That's going to
flag.
be intentional grounding.
You think it's going to be intentional? I'm hearing a couple whispers that it might be roughing the passer on Tony Cumberland. It's going to be interesting what happens here. Penalty's going to, or we'll see what happens here. Looks like the tag is going to get picked up. Penalty is waived there. They were probably discussing an intentional grounding there, as no one was really close to the vicinity there. So could have gone either way. Penalty picks up there, will be considered as an incompletion there. 2nd and 10 here for the Coyotes.
Yeah, that's just it's the effect that Tony Cumberland has on this defense. He's such a big athletic presence. That's why, I mean, he's a huge name recruit. It's why he's a 4-star. It's why schools like Ohio State and Oregon want him. He's able to affect the play in so many different ways. It's not just ways that show up on the stat sheet. He's able to force bad throws like that. He's able to just speed up the game on defense.
Indeed, as the first play will be another false start. 3 false starts penalties recently on both sides of the offense here. Shahan with a bit of work to get done here. Motions off Blackburn onto the right side. It's going to be a handoff here too. Number 7, Ethan Ferber, able to pick up approximately 2 yardage there, 3 yards. And it's going to be 3rd and long here for the Coyotes.
Yeah, it's not exactly a great idea when you're a struggling team coming into play Desert Mountain when they're 4-0. It's not a great idea to try and outdo them in penalties. So obviously both teams have to get it cleaned up. You can't be having these false starts that are just taking you back on drives. Right now, it's destroying Campo Verde's chances.
Indeed, and Shahan not averaging the greatest yardage here. He's going to get the throw. He's going to end up throwing it, finding a wide receiver open in the middle. Bo Hansen, able to get it just wide open in the seam and able to pick up 20 yardage there. And, I was about to explain how Trayson Shahan not averaging as much yardage passing-wise, only averaging 118 yards per game. Getting a good play there and able to move the chains for Campo Verde.
Yeah, that's a great play by Shahan and Hansen. Hansen's able to just sneak past a couple defenders, get to the second level, find a soft spot in there for his quarterback to be able to get a big completion, and now they're in business.
As now Desert Mountain getting some questions here. Nonetheless, a little bit too early to talk about it. They're throwing pressure, and Shahan able to avoid the first tackle. I think Dylan Tabley was just approaching on his blind side, able to avoid it, but met by number 34, Cassius Antherton. with the big play there, forcing a loss of approximately, yeah, the yardage is there. It's going to be around like 16 there. I'm not too good at math. There's a reason why I'm doing journalism, as journalism aren't always great at math, Steven. But
Hey,
big
we at the
sack there.
Walter Cronkite School of Journalism pride ourselves in our math acumen.
As we're going to get going here. Big loss there. It's going to be second and forever. He's going to hand it off there to Ferber. Ferber able to break off a big handle there, and he has green grass. He's going to end up running it all the way there, but met up by Santana Wilson. My goodness, the speed there from Santana Wilson, preventing the yardage there. Also met up by number 30, General Solomon, for the tackle there. And wow, my goodness, what a play there from Ethan Ferber. Finds the hole in the gap there and able to take it out there. And just like that, the Coyotes in Wolves territory.
You know, right as I said that the Coyotes might want to consider leaning back on the running game a little bit unless you can get chunk plays out of it. What do they get? They get a chunk play. And it all started once Ferber, once he was able to get to the second level, he managed to make Brody Olson get a rare missed tackle, and that's when he was able to just get a second burst and get the massive gain after that.
Bit of a hiccup there on the defense for Desert Mound, as they looked like they were scrambling around. But, first, let me just explain that last play. Ethan Ferber able to find a gap on the B gap and just breaking a good tackle, just like you mentioned, from Brody Olson, and he was able to take it to the house. But the speed of Santana Wilson, my goodness, I did not notice how fast he was. Prevents the touchdown from occurring there, although I believe Jeremy Solomon would have probably made it up there, tripped him up there, but the speed, there's no wonder why Texas won him.
Yeah, Santana, he just saved a touchdown right there. It's plain and simple. We mentioned that we don't talk about him a lot because they don't throw at him. Well, he's still able to make an impact because of how long, how rangy, how athletic he is.
Athletic indeed, as he's been having the task of covering Carter Haygood the entire game, also with Bo Hansen. And just like that, first time we mentioned his name, making that big tackle there, and now Coyotes in enemy territory here, motioning up Bobby Blackburn onto the left side, not looking his way. He's trying to make some plays happen. Finds number 2 Matt Panzica, just underthrown there, just behind the elbow there. Luckily tipped down. Probably would have been taken to the house there by Lucas Blumley.
I was about to say that's a bit of a dangerous pass right there. I mean, Blumling's right on top of him, and he threw it behind him. If Blumling was able to turn around, he could have possibly taken it for a 6. You've got a shot at some of the closer receivers running them down, but that's a really dangerous pass.
Dangerous pass indeed, and going to be 2nd and 10 here for the Coyotes. They're going to hand it off to Ferber once again, and he breaks the gap yet again and met up there by number 5, Ryan McDonough, making the tackle right there. And it's just out of nowhere, Ethan Ferber waking up in this drive.
I'm kind of impressed by the Campo Verde won their offensive line, and Ethan Ferber too. Desert Mountain was stacking the box right there. They only had one high safety, and they didn't have really many people out wide. They had what looked like 7 or 8 in the box, and Campo Verde still able to get past that, able to make room for Ferber to get a big chunk play, and now they might just get on the board.
Indeed, as we're just approaching 2 minutes and 30 seconds here on this first half there. And, at first thought, Campo Verde, the offense hasn't been going there. They're losing 17-0, but this drive alone, it's been the running game. And, that's something funny to really mention, because you wanted to, you brought up the idea of perhaps Campo Verde, withholding themselves from running the ball a lot. And just like that, 2 big plays there, and props to Ethan Ferber. And obviously props to the offensive lineman making that gap possible, and Ferber able to make the rest of the magic happen. And luckily for Desert Mountain, they have some pretty good tacklers out there and preventing the touchdown from happening. So they're making Ferber work his way to getting that touchdown. We'll see what happens coming up here.
Yeah, and I was talking to Coach Freeman earlier before the game, and the first thing he mentioned is that Campo Verde team, he said that they played like they were asleep last week in the first half. Now, obviously, they came off to the slow start. The big key was whether or not they could get off to a hot start, whether or not they could try and get a lead or just try and get things working early on. They stumbled over themselves a bit, but the last 2 drives, they're finding themselves. They've got a big drive going here, and on defense, they were able to get Desert Mountain to have a rare punt.
Indeed. So it's going to be 1st and goal for the Coyotes. Shahan finding his groove here, hands it off to Atherton again. Or excuse me, ends up keeping it to himself. It wasn't Atherton, it was Ferber. Ethan Ferber got a bit of a mix-up there with Cassius Atherton, who's trying to make the big play there. Out there, and we're going to see what happens here. Got a little distracted here from the announcement. The Chief tapping. Dylan Tablet making the tackle there. Off a shake hand there, and 2nd and goal coming up here for the Coyotes. And interesting enough, didn't hand it off there to Ferber. Ferber's been finding the gaps, finding the leeway there. See what happens here is shake hand looking for the pass yet again, looking for the trip pass. Ends up trying to run it to himself, bringing up, and just met up there. Just at first glance, you're just beating out number 55, Colden Brodskin, and just met up by the defense there. I believe that was Santana Wilson. No, Elijah Mears with the big tackle there. It looked like he was going to take it to the end zone. Elijah Mears met him just short on that goal line, and it's going to be 3rd and short here for the Coyotes.
Yeah, we're on 3rd down, and it's really playing in the red zone. I know you don't want to be in the red zone on defense, but the red zone kind of plays to the Desert Mountain strengths a little bit. They're so strong in that front 7, and in the red zone, everything's compressed, so you don't have as much room to pass, and you can get that defensive line pin their ears back, and that's a great play by Santana Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely. Great play there. At the end of the day, it seems like Shahan just looks for the one-on-one fade. Play it to Carter Haygood there, and Santana Wilson had it read. Slipped through his hands. Uncharacteristic drop there. Should have been an interception for Santana. And luckily enough, it ricocheted off his hand and into the hands of Haygood, but he wasn't able to corral the ball there, and they're going to force the field goal to come up here. Looked like they were going to go for it, but it will be a field goal attempt for Campo Verde, trying to get themselves on the board. Kyle Stacy on for the 3-point attempt. You can see the action happens here. 46 seconds remains here as the kick is good. Campo Verde's able to make points happen on that drive. Field goal attempt, it is good. And you have something to smile about on that last drive there.
Yeah, you're never going to be mad about getting points on the board, but if you're on that Campo Verde sideline, it's got to be a little defeating. You had such a good drive going. You're getting chunk play after chunk play, and Desert Mountain, again, able to come up big in the red zone and force a field goal.
Come up big indeed, and only 41 seconds remain in this first half. We'll see what Desert Mountain does with these plays. I wouldn't be surprised to try to throw in some go routes into Dylan Tabley, Jack Freeberg. You got the speed there. You have the agility. So we're going to see what happens on this kickoff here. Wouldn't consider this first half done just yet. As we're going to have Kyle Stacy getting ready for the kickoff here. Successfully able to convert that 3 points and give a bit of hope for the Coyotes as they only trail by 2 possessions now. And looking for someone to, something for Coach Freeman to look into this halftime as the kick is up and it's going to be just a bit short. Going to be landing into the hands of a Desert Mountain player. Hard to make out who able to get the play.
I think that was Ryan McDonough.
Could be Ryan McDonough. Usually Journey Solomon. It is Ryan McDonough. So great out of there, Steven. And able to get a good yardage share, taking up to their own 31-yard line here. 35 seconds left in this first half. You think they'll probably end it nearly here? They're going to try to get some action here on the offense.
I wouldn't be surprised if they take one shot, but I'd probably, again, if it's me running the team, I'm probably just nailing it and end the half, going to halftime up 14.
So Brady McDonough in the backfield, not in formation to nail it down. So will look like it will be indeed, as the Coyotes are going to play a big deeper. Ryan McDonough motions on to the left side. McDonough looks deep and met up immediately there by number 5, Bobby Blackburn. McDonough was looking for Dylan Tapley, and he just gets met up there. Luckily, it wasn't a fumble there, and the only close players was from Coyotes. What a disaster that would have been if it was a fumble. So McDonough looking for a play here. 28 seconds remain in this first half as the ball just at their 29-yard line for the Wolves. as they're going to get ready for another play here as Coach Hamilton looks poised to remain aggressive. As McDonough gets the possession here, he's going to throw a quick screenshot, and he's going to be picked off, and he's going to be taken to the house. And it's going to be the MVP of the defense, Jackson Stubblefield. And what a horrible turns of event here at Desert Mountain. Brady McDonough throws it off there to Jack Freeber, and he just tips it up, and Jackson Stubblefield with the interception, he takes it to the hound, and just like that, 10 easy points, or excuse me, 9 potentially for the extra point here from Kyle Stason, and just like that, hope for the Coyotes, and they're going to go into this halftime with the momentum.
Yeah, in the past 5 minutes, it was looking just 5-10 minutes ago like the Coyotes were dead in the water, but a huge mistake by Brady McDonough and a huge mistake by the Desert Mountain offense, frankly, for just going for it right there. And, I mean, that's a 6-point turnaround, and Campo Verde's got all the momentum on their side going into half.
Indeed. As the extra point is no good, will be a 17-9, nonetheless, still a one-possession game. Uncharacteristic interception. You know, who's to blame there? Was it Jack Freeber who just tipped the ball up in the air, or was Brady McDonough just throwing the quick, easy slant there and just not the play you wanted to orchestrate there? The worst situation occurred in points for the Coyotes there, making it a one-possession game.
I mean, I'm a little surprised by the play calling. You can't completely blame a guy for just not catching a pass. You know, you hope it doesn't go flying in there. That's just a great play by Campo Verde. That's a great play by them, and I mean they've got all the momentum in the world on their side now over the last couple minutes.
And who else but Stubblefield, the senior middle linebacker, getting the pick six. He's been playing the defense well. He's been the heart of the Coyotes so far, and there's a big reason why there's only 17 points for Desert Mountain. We expect a little bit more, but defense has been showing up here these last 5 minutes in the second half, and the first half, excuse me, and there's going to be some kind words being led here in the halftime for Coach Hamilton and the offense. As Stacy's kick gets ready, load up there. It's going to be muffled here by Ryan McDonough, but gets scooped up there and just met at the 25-yard line here. And flags is going to be thrown out there. It's going to be interesting on who there. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct for maybe.
I think that might have been a block in the back. I'm not 100% sure. I thought I saw a block in the back over there, but I mean, at this point, it could be a million things.
Could be millions of things, and if it's on Desert Mountain here, so it's going to be offsetting personal fouls, probably on sportsmanlike conduct on both sides, and you know, you can see it. Campo Verde, they got the energy. They're motivated. They're trying to prove a point here today at Desert Mountain against the undefeated Desert Mountains Wolves. As they're going to just go into formation here, and they're just going to kneel it here and just go on break. And halftime, it's going to be a lot of words being talked there. Worst sequence of events just occurred on the last drive for Desert Mountain, allowing free points to Campo Verde. And they still, nonetheless, have the lead here heading into halftime. And that's going to do it for the first half. Desert Mountain still remains on top, 17-9 against against Campo Verde Coyotes. Halftime is here. We'll see you. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in the second half.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi everyone, my name is Jackson Webster and I'm a senior at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. This semester, I will be joining Varsity Sports Show as a social media manager. I'm excited to promote and make engaging and informative content this semester.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Goldie from the Varsity Sports Show. I love sports and fell in love with sports broadcasting back in high school. I can't wait to bring you my unique perspective because I am on the autism spectrum and sometimes I view things a little differently.
My name is Kyle Krikorian, and I'm a sophomore studying journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I am thrilled to join the Varsity Media Foundation as a technical director following Horizon High School football this fall. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kyle Krikorian.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi everyone, my name is Jackson Webster, and I'm a senior at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. This semester, I will be joining Varsity Sports Show as a social media manager. I'm excited to promote and make engaging and informative content this semester.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Goldie from the Varsity Sports Show. I love sports and fell in love with sports broadcasting back in high school. I can't wait to bring you my unique perspective because I am on the autism spectrum and sometimes I view things a little differently.
My name is Kyle Krikorian, and I'm a sophomore studying journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I am thrilled to join the Varsity Media Foundation as a technical director following Horizon High School football this fall. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kyle Krikorian.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sport. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi everyone, my name is Jackson Webster and I'm a senior at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. This semester, I will be joining Varsity Sports Show as the social media manager. I'm excited to promote and make engaging and informative content this semester.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Goldie from the Varsity Sports Show. I love sports and fell in love with sports broadcasting back in high school. I can't wait to bring you my unique perspective because I am on the autism spectrum and sometimes I view things a little differently.
My name is Kyle Krikorian, and I'm a sophomore studying journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I am thrilled to join the Varsity Media Foundation as a technical director following Horizon High School football this fall. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kyle Krikorian.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi everyone, my name is Jackson Webster and I'm a senior at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. This semester, I will be joining Varsity Sports Show as the social media manager. I'm excited to promote and make engaging and informative content this semester.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Goldie from the Varsity Sports Show. I love sports and fell in love with sports broadcasting back in high school. I can't wait to bring you my unique perspective because I am on the autism spectrum and sometimes I view things a little differently.
My name is Kyle Krikorian, and I'm a sophomore studying journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I am thrilled to join the Varsity Media Foundation as a technical director following Horizon High School football this fall. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kyle Krikorian.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi everyone, my name is Jackson Webster and I'm a senior at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. This semester, I will be joining Varsity Sports Show as the social media manager. I'm excited to promote and make engaging and informative content this semester.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Goldie from the Varsity Sports Show. I love sports and fell in love with sports broadcasting back in high school. I can't wait to bring you my unique perspective because I am on the autism spectrum and sometimes I view things a little differently.
My name is Kyle Krikorian, and I'm a sophomore studying journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I am thrilled to join the Varsity Media Foundation as a technical director following Horizon High School football this fall. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kyle Krikorian.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi everyone, my name is Jackson Webster and I'm a senior at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. This semester, I will be joining Varsity Sports Show as the social media manager. I'm excited to promote and make engaging and informative content this semester.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Goldie from the Varsity Sports Show. I love sports and fell in love with sports broadcasting back in high school. I can't wait to bring you my unique perspective because I am on the autism spectrum and sometimes I view things a little differently.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sebastian Mondaka. Thank you for joining us here for this second half game between Campo Verde and Desert Mountain. I'm not alone, however. I'm joined in with my partner in crime, Stephen Buxton. And this game, hypothetical thinking, was supposed to be a blowout for Desert Mountain. They're 4-0 of the season. They just came off winning against Cactus High School, the former 5A runner-ups from last year. They won comfortably, too. This week, they're playing against a Campo Verde team, currently 1-3. Very iffy on the offense. They started off pretty slow. However, they scored 9 unanswered points, and they're only trailing by 8 points here. Steven, what's been going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just the last 5 minutes really just changed everything. Desert Mountain was forced into a 3-and-out, and they had to punt the ball over to Campo Verde. Campo Verde got that field goal, even though they thought they were going to get a touchdown for a while, but they got that field goal. And on one of the first plays, Desert Mountain was back on offense. That costly pick six, and it's a ball game here.
A ball game indeed. 17-9 is the scoreline here, and to even add more, Campo Verde, they elected to defer, so they're going to get the ball here to start off the second half, as they're going to have a quick muffle here, but saved by the touchback as the ball was crossed by the goal line here. And, now that Campo Verde, they brought it back into a game here, Steven. What do you think they need to do here to pull off the upset?
I mean, you just really got to, again, try and get what you can out of the run game. If you can get chunk plays, do it. But you got to keep that passing game going. Try and get some of the stuff underneath. They haven't been able to get a ton down. They haven't been able to get a ton deep. But if you can get some of those underneath passes, if you can just get your guys in space, and let your playmakers make plays, and if they can do that, if they can keep the offense going, then they've got a shot today.
Indeed, and one thing to really pinpoint is the running game. You have a very strong running back in Bobby Blackburn, who's been running it very well, but you just got to bring out the hidden secret weapon for the Coyotes, and it's Ethan Ferber, who had 2 big breakout runs there, and it forced it all the way into their enemy's goal line, and the Wolves were able to prevent the touchdown. But right after that drive, they forced the pick six, and they're only winning by 8 points now. And so, as we have Ferber getting the running play once again, and that's enough for the first down. And differently from what happened on that first half, they get the first down, and they move the chains via the running game.
Yeah, that Campo Verde running game's been fairly successful the last couple drives, and that's just because the left side of their line, the right side of their line, Jalen Edsity and Connor Cameron, they've just been opening wide open holes for the backs to run straight through.
Indeed, as we have Shahan with the possession, hands it off to Ethan with the ball again, and the ball gets whipped out of there and picked up by Cassius Atherton. And just like that, the big man gets his first touchdown of the year. Tony Cumberland gets his touchdown last week, and Cassius Atherton forces the ball, rips it out of Ethan Ferber's hands, and pending his penalty flag coming up, it's going to be 23-9, and exactly the way you want to start off here for the defense of Desert Mountain.
Cassius Atherton just back at it. He had a big game last week. Coach Hamilton loves the impact this guy has on their defense. He's so athletic up the middle. He's so quick. He's just a force on that line. He's able to disrupt that offense on every single play.
Indeed, as the penalty flag going to get picked up. It's going to be a personal foul on Desert Mountain. Touchdown still stands. Will be a fumble recovery picked up by Cassius Atherton. And it's still going to give Desert Mountain the lead. The penalty flag won't impact the play there. And just like that, big bang to start off the second half, Steven.
Yeah, right as we were saying that some of the momentum might be going on to the Campo Verde side. I mean, what a better way to start it than picking up a fumble and returning it for 6. I mean, that Desert Mountain sideline's got to have a bit of a boost after a pretty disappointing end to the first half.
Indeed. As Cassius Atherton cashes it in for the touchdown here. Desert Mountain leads 24-9, and it's exactly what you want to do. You want to stop the momentum swing And just like that, they're throwing the ball, getting the ball in the first half after scoring 9 unanswered. It haunts them there as Cassius forces the fumble recovery. I'm not even sure. Was it a fumble recovery? Was it a strip sack or was it a strip ball? Didn't quite really make out what occurred there. Nonetheless, resulted in a defensive touchdown. They're the second for this team.
Hey, all that matters is he had the ball. And can I just mention, Alex Weeks has an absolute cannon of a leg. I mean, he hasn't taken a single cheap field goal. He just sent that one 40 yards behind the uprights.
And, you know,
they've got someone looking for that ball in the middle of the desert right now.
or ball. Hopefully it gets recovered. But, you know, more what you're talking about Alex Weeks. Yes, great kicker. You know, right before, during halftime, you know, getting the warm-ups back out for the second half, Alex Weeks was kicking from the 50-yard line. That's a 60-yard kick, and it was reaching the point. It was hitting the pole, and that was just astonishing. First, you got the speed of Santana Wilson. You have the absolute bootleg of Alex Weeks.
And I wouldn't be surprised with a running start right here if he's still able to get close to that touchback or get it inside that 5.
As Alex Weeks gets ready for the kickoff here after the fumble recovery, will be called back and just short of the 20-yard line. So give or take a 50-yard kick there. Just a monster like here in the high school level.
Overestimating him, I guess.
Overestimating him. You're not. I think he's right on par. But the penalty flag will take it back here for a couple of yards, and it's going to be a re-kick for a kickoff here. Approaching 10 minutes here in this third quarter, and Desert Mountain score immediately, even though their offense hasn't touched the field yet. So we're going to get Alex Weeks getting ready for the kickoff here. Penalty was called for offsides on the offense. Interesting call indeed. Alex Weeks getting ready. He's going to want to boot this all the way out here. And touchback, we'll see. He gets the boot off there. Quick shovel kick. It's going to head into the hands of Campo Verde. He gets some free space here. He's able to get off some good space. Reach just midfield there. Props to number 23, Gunnar Hill. Getting it on the 30-yard line and getting approximately 20 yards on that carry.
I know he made a nice move there. He was maybe able to get a missed tackle, but you know what has Campo Verde close to the 50-yard line?
What does it?
Those 2 penalties.
The penalties.
The fact
indeed.
that Desert Mountain was kicking from their 20-yard line. I mean, you can't have that if you're trying to sustain the success. You can't. I mean, I know you're not going to be all that mad over a penalty on a kickoff, but once you're getting back to the 20, I mean, you can't get that ball inside the 10.
As Trayson Shahan hands it off the ball here, and once again, you have Ethan Ferber just cutting it through the middle and reaching out to those gaps, and he's been waking up these last 2 drives, getting a couple yards here. He's just approaching under 100 yards rushing-wise and just tearing it through the middle.
Ferber's having a great night tonight. I mean, it's a little different from last week. Last week he was their leading rusher, but, I mean, when the team had under 70 yards on the ground, that's not saying much. He had 6 for 30 yards. But tonight, it's completely different. He's been running hard. He's been hitting the holes with conviction, and he's been most of their offense tonight.
Indeed, as Trayson gets ready with the snap here, he's going to hand it off to his favorite running back, but immediately met. Good play there from Cassius Atherton, able to read him onto the side there and force the loss of gain there of approximately 1 yardage there, and it's going to be third and manageable coming up for Campo Verde. Great field position here. They'll want to make this play in waste and go on the 3-and-out. And if it hasn't been the offense making the bad plays, but defense has been waking up here for Desert Mountain. I'm very curious to hear what Coach Hamilton said on that halftime locker room, and, you know, what would be your speculation, Steven?
I mean, I'm really trying to lean on this defense. It's up front where they just feast on their opponents, and can you get those blitz packages going? Can you just disrupt the timing? Can you close up the running lanes for this offense? Because as long as they're able to get Blackburn and Ferber up to the second level untouched, this Desert Mountain defense is going to have its work cut out for it.
The workout on indeed, and we're going to have a quick timeout for Campo Verde. They're going to have a quick discussion of what's going on here. And, you know, you scored 9 unanswered. You're only down by 1 possession, and you give off that costly fumble recovery. And Desert Mountain, they take it to the house, and they restart their lead. You know, what are you thinking here if you're Coach Freeman?
I mean, if I'm Coach Freeman, I'm telling the guys that they're still in it, but this drive is really critical for that Campo Verde team. If they can't score points on this drive and they give it back to that Desert Mountain offense, I know the last bit of the first half went how it did, but they've had their way throughout this game. So if you're giving it back to that offense, you're betting more often than not that they're gonna get at least a couple points. And I don't think that Campo Verde can afford to get more unanswered against them.
Indeed. As Tracy gets the ball ready, going to hand it off once again to his favorite running back, Ethan Ferber, and he's able to break a big tackle there and just fighting his way for those yardage right in the middle. And so far, it's been the Ethan Ferber show for Campo Verde. He's been waking up, and Desert Mountain has no answer.
Yeah, it's not just Ferber. I mean, it is tonight, but on the year, it's been Ferber and Blackburn for the majority. Both of them averaging over 5 yards a carry, even with their down week last week. And Blackburn even more. Blackburn's averaging 8.1 per carry, and I mean this running game's been huge for this Campo Verde team, and it's just right now they're breaking arm tackles. They're breaking. It's rare to say with this Desert Mountain team, but Ferber and Blackburn have been breaking arm tackles all night.
Indeed, as we're gonna have a timeout here from Hamilton, or excuse me, Desert Mountain coach Hamilton called the timeout there, and he did not look happy. He was letting his players have it. Bit of a miscommunication, and we've seen that a lot on the defense-wise. You see all the players scrambling around, and they're trying to find the progressives, and they're trying to find the reads, and trying to get the good correction there, and that play wasn't happening there, and Coach Hamilton having to burn out one of its early timeouts here.
Yeah, right now you don't want to completely sell out, but you got to stack the box a little more. You gotta possibly even throw in a fifth lineman down there. You got to put more pressure against that line, and I mean just trust your corners to work.
Indeed, as we have a quick throw route here, trying to find one of the receivers, but going to end up in the coverage of Santana Wilson. Shahan trying to find Carter Haygood, end up finding nothing, and I feel like that's something you need to force if you're Desert Mountain. You want to force Shahan to throw the ball. You want him to throw it there. He hasn't been very accurate tonight, but it's been the run game that's been, having its way against Desert Mountain. And just like you mentioned, maybe add another lineman onto that line and just forcing the running game to progress nothing and just forcing that passing game to happen.
Yeah, even if you throw 7 in the box on every single play, even if you just have 4 guys playing man on the receivers, or even 3 if it's 2 back set, you just gotta trust them, because more often than not, teams have not been able to throw on Desert Mountain this year, so you got to eliminate that running game.
As we're going to have yet another handoff here to Ferber, and he makes those tackles after, or just the yards after tackle just happen, man, and he just makes those plays just happen. I'm just flabbergasted by just how much he's been making happen today. He gets handed off, and he gets met on the line of scrimmage, but he just doesn't go down. He refuses to go down, and he gets those extra yardages, and it makes those third downs manageable. So third down coming here for for Campo Verde. Forces off the motion here. It's going to be another handoff here to Blackburn this time. And just straight up the middle. It's actually going to be Andrew Mask with the running back. They're forcing the third one coming out. Change continues here, and the running game just cooking the Wolves so far.
Yeah, this is the first time all season we've been able to say that they're just up front right now. The Desert Mountain defensive line is getting beat. They are right off the snap. That Campo Verde offensive line is just getting a push. They're getting 2, 3, 4 yards downfield before any of the running backs get touched sometimes.
As we have Ferber getting the cut out into the outside, and he fumbles to the ball there, and it looks like Desert Mountain has recovered again. We're going to be waiting for the sign here coming, but a fumble occurred here from from Ferber, and Desert Mountain recovers there. I'm not sure who forced the fumble there, but Desert Mountain, they catch a break there.
Yeah, you can't have that if you're Campo Verde. You've got Desert Mountain not on the ropes, but you're having your way with them up front, and everything is going right for you on this drive if you're Campo Verde. And you just turn the ball over right when it seems like an all but foregone conclusion that they were at least going to get 3, maybe even 6 points on the board for that Campo Verde team. Now Desert Mountain, they've just got to get themselves away from the end zone, try and avoid a safety.
Indeed, and this is the first time we see the Desert Mountain's offense back on the field. Last time we saw that, Brady McDonough threw that accidental pick six, and it made question marks around the offense. But now they get a chance of redemption there. Max Sheffrin gets the handoff there, but just met immediately. It was actually Ryan McDonough there with the handoff, and just met by the lineman there. So we're gonna try to pick up the number, because I believe it's going to be number 33, Cash Tappan, making the huge tackle there, and offense still coming out a little shaky.
Yeah, that's a great play by Tappan. I'm sorry, Hip had a great block on the edge, but Tappan just was right in there on the blitz, just completely just destroyed the hole that was open. And Desert Mountain's got nowhere to go right there.
As they're going to hand it off once again, trying to get the running game going here. As I think that's Ryan McDonough again with the handoff, and gets nothing. Loses, I think, a couple yardages there. And just like that, 3rd and long here after forcing the turnover. So offense just getting the running game trying to go. At this point, you just got to ask the questions if you're just trying to clock as much time as they can. As we're just under 6 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Been a relatively quick one, but now 3rd and long here, and they're in their own 5-yard line here. And even if they're not able to convert there, the punt could give Campo Verde more yardage to start it off here, as McDonough looking to throw to Dylan Tapley, decides to keep it. He will end up throwing it, as the ball is a bit underthrown there. A lot of touches there between number 2, Mac Panzica, and Jack Freeberg. Or excuse me, Journey Solomon. A lot of contact in that play. No penalty flag thrown out. Could have been called a pass interference, probably because it was just a bit underthrown, so it was uncatchable, and maybe the penalty doesn't go through there. But 3 and out coming out there, and Desert Mountain forced to punt.
Yeah, that's as big of a nightmare drive as you can have there for Desert Mountain. I mean, you're just gifted a chance. You're gifted an offensive possession right there. And McDonough honestly he makes a bad decision on that play. I don't know why he thought it was a good idea to try and throw it downfield over there. He had Ryan McDonough open on what looked like the 30-yard line on that wheel route. He had him open on the 30-yard line on the Desert Mountain sideline. He could have possibly got it over there if he didn't roll over to his right. But he did. He tried to make the big play downfield and what was triple coverage. And Desert Mountain's back on defense because of it.
Yeah, and bit of a turns of events there from Cole Tappan, or excuse me, from the punter for Desert Mountain, Cole Tappan, indeed. He ended up muffing the punt there, and looked like he was going to try to run it for the first down, but he ends up punting it and gets a favorable bounce, and Campo Verde starting at their own drive and feeding it off to the monster who can't be stopped, Ethan Ferber, able to pick up a good 5 yardage there, and there's been no answer so far from Desert Mountain.
I mean, it's been what we've been seeing over the last 15 minutes of game time. I mean, Caden Dale, their right guard, he's 5 yards downfield for Campo Verde. I mean, the Campo Verde offensive line is just taking all the momentum, and they're running downfield, and they're having fun with it right now.
As Shahan hands it off to the running back once again, he makes a cut into the left side and just able to pick up the first down and more here. It's just been so far. Asen Ferber, no answer so far, and he's been easily over 100 yards now in tonight's game. Luckily, the scoreboard says likewise 24-9, but the way this game has been going so far, I wouldn't be surprised if Campo Verde could make this a game.
Yeah, they can't get in their way. I mean, they just had their tight end have a great kick-out block on there, and the entire line is 4 yards downfield on that play. I mean, if you're Ferber, you've got nowhere to go but just straight forward, and you're not seeing a Desert Mountain defender until you're 5 yards downfield.
Indeed, as we're going to have another handoff to Ethan Ferber there, and he's able to cut it into the middle for approximately 3 yardage there. But if you think about it prospectively, if you have your average 3.5 yards, you're going to get the first down in 3 plays. And if they can't figure it out, then just keep on handing it off to Ethan Ferber again. He'll just take over this game.
That was a solid play by the Desert Mountain defensive line, though. They were able to just blow it up when it looked like they might have had something right there.
Indeed, as a bit of a confusion here from the the defensive lines here, as Shahan hands it off again to Ethan Ferber. Met up there, but the yards after contact, he picks up there, and just like that, a good 4 yards there, and it's going to be 30 manageable once again. And I believe the next play is going to be a running pass because Desert Mountain still has no answers yet. I haven't seen the Desert Mountain on Ferber before the line of scrimmage. He's always already has +1, +2 yardage before he meets with the contact, and the yards after context, he's on adding there for Furberg. He's been having himself a night. He figured something out on that one drive where they scored the field goal. He figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, on that play, there's not much you can do as Desert Mountain. I couldn't get the number there, but the defensive end on the Campo Verde side for Desert Mountain, he just completely blew up the hole right there. He just drove his man like 3 yards backfield, but Ferber was able to make it go around him, and he was still able to get 4 or 5 yards on that play.
As long as the run doesn't hurt, the Ethan Ferber is just going to run through Desert Mountain. I think the only negative part is that every time they run it, the clock is ticking. They're still down by 3 possessions here, and we're already going to approach the fourth quarter as we have another handoff here to Bobby Blackburn, and he's met in the line of scrimmage as they're trying to get a little anti there from Cassius Atherton and Bobby. But there's going to be a penalty flag on the field. It's going to stop the clock here. Might be a holding call on Campo Verde, and it is going to be a holding call. Could be a potential break here for Desert Mountain. And just like I mentioned, Steven, the time continues, the clock continues to go, and that's the only advantage that Desert Mountain has so far on the defense.
Yeah, if you're Campo Verde, I mean, the running game is working so well, but how long can you keep going with it? Because every drive, you can't have multiple 6, 7, 8-minute drives if you're Campo Verde, because you need to make up 15 points.
Indeed, and you can't always rely on the defense to give you that pick six to come back again. Although, really, if you give out like a good synopsis about this entire game, it's been more Desert Mountain hurting themselves. The penalties, the pick six, the playmaking, it's been more themselves, but Campo Verde waking up with the passing game as we have a quick pass attempt here from Shahan, connecting here with his receiver, number 10, Bo Hansen. First passing attempt from Shahan in this first half, and so we're going to have a penalty flag on the field unless it fell off from one of the refs. We're going to see what that. Was it a penalty flag? I'm a bit confused here.
I mean, I saw a penalty flag.
Or laundry, the time is clicking, or the time is ticking, excuse me, so I'm assuming the penalty flag being waved off. Doesn't look like the refs are just having a discussion, so play continues on there. It's going to be a good gain there of approximately 10 yards there to Bo Hansen, and life continues on for Campo Verde. Yeah, a quick motion here. Going to hand it off to Blackburn. He finds coverage in straight in the middle. Big stick kick there for Bobby Blackburn. Able to pick up the first yardage there. And it's going to be first and goal, I believe, for Campo Verde Coyotes. And the run game continues to become a factor here for the Coyotes.
Yeah, Desert Mountain's just got to get off the field. They're tired right now, and they've got to get something different going up front, whether it's a different blitz, whether or not you're running like a twist up front with your tackles. They got to get some kind of movement. They got to get some kind of pressure up front. They got to catch Campo Verde off guard because right now they're tired and it's not working. They got to bring something different.
Indeed, just like you mentioned, they are tired as now we're approaching 1 minute in this third quarter. And there's one thing Desert Mountain can take advantage, it's the time clock is for them. Campo Verde only has 12 minutes, 13 minutes if you include this minute here to make the comeback feasible. But it could happen with the way the offense started off the second half. We only seen them once the second half so far. So pending this play, might be the last play on the third quarter here. As Shahan gets the ball there, he's going to hand it off to Blackburn again, straight up the middle. Stop just short to the goal line there, and I believe you still have the first down available on there. It's going to be third and manageable coming up for the Coyotes, but 30 seconds remaining here. We'll see if this could be the last play of this third quarter here. And the defense is spicing up here, and they're tired, just like you mentioned. At this point, why not put the whole house on the blitz? You got to get something going, maybe play man coverages on the teams, and just stop that running game. Just stop them from getting a single yardage, as a will indeed be the last play of the third quarter. We are going to hit a quick break as we prepare ourselves for our last quarter of tonight's game. Desert Mountain leads 24-9 here at Desert Mountain High School. Don't go anywhere.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
My name is Kyle Krikorian, and I'm a sophomore studying journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I am thrilled to join the Varsity Media Foundation as a technical director following Horizon High School football this fall. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kyle Krikorian.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Goldie from the Varsity Sports Show. I love sports and fell in love with sports broadcasting back in high school. I can't wait to bring you my unique perspective because I am on the autism spectrum and sometimes I view things a little differently.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter. Last chance for both teams to close it off here at Desert Mountain with the lead, 24-9 with the advantage. However, Campo Verde, they are striking, they are attacking, they are feeling dangerous here as they are at their opposition's 7-yard line. Give or take, the running game has been fantastic in the second half, but the time management, see what happens here. Steven, give me your ideas. What's going on?
Well, on the Desert Mountain defensive side, I know they just had the break, but a minute break isn't going to help the fact that they're exhausted right now. They've been on the field the entire second half. And because that Desert Mountain offense, they didn't do them any favors. And they need to, once they get back on the field on offense, Desert Mountain needs to beat Campo Verde at their own game right now. They need to just start running the ball. They need to basically just do nothing but time of possession right now. Keep that defense off the field. Give them a little bit of a break, at least for the next drive.
Indeed. And first play, coming back on the defense side, Desert Mountain, they go with the blitz. They stopped the run game and lost a game there for the first time in the second half. So, it's going to force the fourth down. Lost a track of downs there. So, Campo Verde will settle with the field goal there and try to make it a two-possession game. And not the way you wanted to end off such a great drive. And as the field goal, it is good. Just top right. Great. Another drive caps off with 3 points there.
Yeah, that's the whole problem with Campo Verde. If they're going to just continue to lean on nothing but the run game, they can't just take 3 points per possession because of how long their drives are taking. But for Desert Mountain, it's just what I said earlier. They stacked the box. They brought a different kind of pressure. They brought a blitz. They had some movement up front, and they're able to get off the field. They're able to force the field goal.
Indeed, force the field goal now. And now that last drive, you just can't feel but like all being it for naught. You don't get the touchdown, such a long drive. Campo Verde's offense was out there 11 minutes and 30 seconds out of the possible 12 in that third half, and that only resulted in 3 points. So, that third quarter, some question marks to beg to differ here. Now we're approaching 11 minutes here left in this game. Desert Mountain, they're getting possession here and running the ball. They'll lose good 2-3 minutes, and the way those drives have been going for Campo Verde, they need to step it up here and force faster actions. As Jack Freeberg's going to get the kickoff ready here. He sees some open grace, and he's going to end up getting a great hand there, but it's going to get stopped just short there. Great tackle from number 24, Aiden Valles.
Yeah, for Desert Mountain, again, they just need to play Campo Verde's game. They need to lean on that running game. Get the linemen to just lean on some guys. Give everyone a break, basically. Get the whole team just leaning on their opponents, so you can get a little bit of a breather. It's a lot easier than having guys sprint downfield or having the linemen have to brace against a pass rush. And if they can do that, they can control the time of possession, get those guys that aren't going both ways a bit of a break even more. And on defense, they might have a better chance of stopping that Campo Verde running game.
And just like that, one play is already better than the results that they had in that third quarter. And Dylan Tapley, he makes his presence known. He had a touchdown earlier this game, but he's been quiet on that first quarter. Second quarter, non-existent. Third quarter, offense was non-existent completely as McDonough throws it off back to Tapley again. And great tackle there off the field by Matt Panzica, forcing Dylan Tapley down. Nonetheless, the clock keeps on moving. The clock stays ticking there. 2 quick passes there to Dylan Tapley, and the drive keeps on going here for Desert Mountain. As they're going to get huddled up here, and right now they're just playing keep away. They're just playing time-consuming here. They're just playing around with the shot clock, and they're going to try to force as much plays as they can in this drive, and at the end of the day, clocks is in their beneficial now. They have the lead. All they need to do is just milk it out. As Brady McDonough is going to get this second down ready, he's going to hand it off. Not sure who got the reception there. He breaks off a quick tackle there. It's actually going to be number 17 on the offense, Sean Hart. Great play there from Sean Hart. beating it all into the sideline, goes out of bounds, so the time does stop here. Nonetheless, able to get that first down there and continue the chains.
Yeah, I know the clock stopping isn't going to help them on the time of possession battle, but it gives the offense a bit of time to move slower. It just keeps that Desert Mountain defense off the field even longer, and it does help. The first down helps, obviously, but just keeping that slower pace so they could possibly just give that defense even more rest.
As Brady McDonough finds Dylan Tapley, he's wide open, and just like that, 3 plays is all it takes for Desert Mountain's offense to get the touchdown. And who else but Dylan Tapley, getting, I believe, his 7th touchdown of the year, his 2nd tonight.
Tapley's just been so integral for this team. He just beat his guy right there. He just ran right by him. And when you've got a target that big, downfield, wide open, it's hard to miss.
Hard to miss indeed, and just like that, he just can't feel but think that touchdown would just ice this game out. And, now I feel more comfortable asking you, Steven, who's your player of the game so far? What's on your list right now?
I was just thinking, I have no idea, but after that, it's got to be Dylan Tapp. He's got 2 touchdowns on the night. It's probably got to be him.
You wouldn't consider Cassius Atherton after that fumble recovery? It was a close game, and Cash is able to get that fumble and just take it to the house, and just like that, they started running away bit by bit.
I might, but the only thing that's holding me back on that is just the fact that up front, Desert Mountain, that defensive line has struggled so much against the running game as of late.
You know what? That makes perfect sense. There's Dylan Tapley, potential player of the game in tonight's game. 3rd time so far in our 5 broadcasts. When I was color commentator, I had him twice. And obviously, you just try to keep it different here and there. But, when the player shows that he's the difference maker and the playmaker on the team, there's no choice but to highlight him on the week player of the game. So just like that, 3 plays is all it takes for Desert Mountain to score a touchdown. Props to Dylan Tapley getting all 3 receptions. So if it takes one player, then so be it. Desert Mountain takes it the way they like it. And just like that, they scored 31 points tonight, keeping the average of 30 points plus each game going.
Did I pick Alex Weeks as the player of the game?
I wouldn't doubt it. Although I feel like for kickers, you would have to kick the game-winning field goal if they want them to be the player of the game. But what a boot there from Alex Weeks. My goodness. And just like that, if you're Campo Verde here, Steven, what are you thinking? You don't admit defeat. There's still 10 minutes left in this game, but the running game is the only thing you take positive. They've been destroying the Desert Mountains alignment, but the running game is too costly. Time continues to clock way too much. Drives are way too long, so just try to explore the passing offense, perhaps?
I mean, if I'm Campo Verde, obviously you're not happy that the touchdown was let up, but what I am happy about is that was a quick drive. Desert Mountain was only on the field for about 2 minutes of game time. 5 minutes of, actual real time, but they were only out there for 2 minutes of time on the clock, and that defense still has got to be a little tired. They didn't get that long 6, 7-play drive, 8-play drive that Campo Verde has been putting up against Desert Mountain's defense. So they're obviously they're a little more rested than they were 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, but they're still tired.
Indeed, still tired. And nonetheless, Santana Wilson making the breakoff coverage there, and time just continues to clock here as they're forcing the big blitz there as Shahan having to throw the ball away. He had a big Lucas Blooming heading into his face. You don't want him to hit you straight on, so throws it, finds his nearest receiver, Bobby Blackburn, in the vicinity. He hasn't even turned around when the ball already hit his shoulder. So another great play here. 3rd down and long coming up for the Coyotes.
You were trying to make your pitch for Cassius Atherton to be the play of the game or player of the game. Well, he must have heard me reject him because it looked like he got a piece of that ball, and he's a big reason why that pass wasn't completed.
Indeed, as we're going to have a big blitz play there. And big stick hit there from Bobby Blackburn. Not afraid to let it go there, but what a great tackle there by number 19. Elijah Banquo takes him straight on there and still forces the tackle to go down. Although they convert the first down, their running game still a factor to something to question here, especially if you're Coach Hamilton. You see different teams. You see, the running game. They can't stop the running game. They're just gonna throw it down your throats, and that's what Campo Verde's been doing tonight.
Yeah, But on the Desert Mountain side, on that last play, Tranquil's actually kind of lucky, or I'm sorry, Banquil. He's lucky that he was able to hold on to that tackle because I know he got run over, but just him being able to hold on there with Desert Mountain playing a single high safety on that last play, he basically just stopped a touchdown on that play.
Indeed, and Elijah Bagwell gets highlighted once again, forcing the safety blitz coming up from the top and forcing Bobby to go down again for a gain of 1 yard there. So he's making his impact here late. And now we're under 8 minutes here as Shahan gets the ball possession. He's going to throw out here, looking for a receiver. Pressure's throwing out there. He's going to throw it out with his legs here, trying to get the stiff arm there. But we have the big man, the big defense there in Lucas Blooming. Not much to be happening there, and there's going to be a penalty flag on the floor as well. It's probably going to be a holding call on the Coyotes. So this play might be coming back here.
That was a great play by Blumling, still being able to track him down and mitigate that what could have been a big gain for that Campo Verde offense. I mean, the offensive line was still able to hold up. They had some room. I mean, I know it was a pass, but it was fairly decent pocket and with some defenders downfield that they were running away from. I mean, there was a chance that he could have broken it for a bigger game.
Indeed. Yes. We're going to have the play resume again. Shahan with the possession. He's going to throw the ball once again, but just met up there by Elijah Mears, the man who got the interception earlier in this game. He makes the big tackle there for a good gain of approximately 4 yardage there, and it's going to be 3rd and long once again. They converted here last time. The run by Bobby Blackburn gave him the continuous there, but for now, once again, just like you mentioned, the drive, it's being too long already. 2 minutes passing this drive, and they haven't even gone up 10 yards.
Yeah, and Shahan, I mean, he made the right decision there. It was the right read. There's nothing else he can do right there. It's just Mears being able to get in there and just blow it up. That was a great play by the Desert Mountain defense.
Play indeed, 3rd and long coming out. The fans getting excited here as time will stop clicking here as we are going to have a timeout by the Coyotes here. 6 minutes and 54 seconds left in this game. It's safe to say, Steven, that the Wolves are running away with this game. They look poised to go 5-0 undefeated here. And, a little glimpse ahead next week. They take on Horizon High School.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun to see that because, I mean, Desert Mountain, if they hold on to the lead, they'll be 5-0. They're facing Horizon, and Horizon, they're 3-1 right now, but they've got a big lead over, I think they're playing Millennium right now. And Horizon, they're coming off a loss against 4-0 Pinnacle. Pinnacle, obviously, a 6A team. They're one of the best teams in the state. So you can't feel bad about losing to them, but it's a really good Horizon team that we'll see here next week.
3-1 indeed, 5-0, potentially 4-1 for Horizon if they do come out winning against Millennium. Game's probably going very interesting here. It's now the timeout continues. Shahan throws the ball into unknown territory. No one in the vicinity except for Matt Panzica. Nothing happens there, and are ultimately going to punt it out here. And Desert Mountain's going to get the ball again, and now their mission only is just to clock out the rest of this remaining game.
I don't even know if Shane was throwing it to Panzica because the closest guy to the ball was Elijah Banquil. I mean, I couldn't tell if he was throwing it to Panzica or someone deeper because it's just there was no one near the ball right there. I'm honestly a little surprised. You could make the argument for intentional grounding right there.
Could be, but staying in the pocket and such like that. And it looked like the Coyotes was gonna go for it on 4th and long there. Probably not. Well, if they want to stay in this game, nothing to lose here. So look like they might go for it here, and a bit of confusion there as they had the special teams team coming out, and they had to force the defense to come out. So Coach Hamilton uses the second timeout of the second half here, and your Coach Hamilton, are you happy with this result?
I mean, you've got to be happy with the result. A win is a win. Again, we've got 6:50 left on the clock. This is the game right here, though. If Campo Verde can't come up with a big play for a first down, or if they just punt it away, it's essentially the game right here because Desert Mountain will have the ball with 6:50 on the clock, and I mean they're up 3 scores already. they could put themselves up 4, and with under what will probably be under 6 minutes to play after that, I mean, Campo Verde's got basically nowhere to go.
As Shahan's going to look for the pass attempt, gets mushed up in the middle, trying to find Carter Haygood to no success. Turnovers on down. Santana Wilson waves him goodbye. That probably ices up the game, as now Desert Mountain just going to run this game clock out.
I mean, we've been not beaten up, but we've been talking about how that Desert Mountain front seven, they've been struggling, and we have a injured player on the field, unfortunately. But that Desert Mountain front seven, they've been struggling in the second half and the last couple minutes of the first half. But right there, Cole Tappan and someone else, I didn't get the number on him, but Cole Tappan is in there, able to get a pressure, able to force a bad throw, hurry up Shahan, and Desert Mountain's going to get the ball back in a good position because of it.
Good position indeed, as I believe he's probably having a little cramp out there, playing long games, playing long hours here at Scottsdale. Perfect weather today. Obviously love being here at Scottsdale at Desert Mountain High School. The atmosphere is amazing. The moon halfway through, trying to make some action happen here. Players still currently down right now. As he finally gets up, it's actually going to be number 7 for the team. Brody Olson currently down on the field, but he gets up on his own power. He gets the job done, forcing the turnovers on down, and now the offense goes out there. And what remains for them is see what this drive happens here, and they're going to maintain hope and finish out this game and continue the season undefeated. As Brady McDonough in the backfield with seems to be Ryan McDonough. You know, one player I haven't seen at all in the second half is Max Sheffrin. Hopefully he's okay. I didn't see him stumble in today's game. He was playing pretty good. It was actually going to be number 37 in the backfield.
Yeah, Sheffrin had that hit early on, and he came out of the game. I mean, we haven't seen him much since then. You got to hope he's okay.
Got to hope indeed. Maybe it could be potentially a hit on the leg. Could be a hit in the head. You never. It's easy to be in the concussion protocol, so hopefully he is okay. Not seeing him on the field, so it's been right now Ryan McDonough taking over, and also his backup Cameron Terry so far on the field right now.
I don't even see where he is on the sideline.
Yeah, on first glance, doesn't look like he's here, so not a good sign to see on first hand, but hopefully it was just a one-game thing. And
is that another false start?
It might be a false start on Desert Mountain, and the penalties continue to happen, but more of a better leeway game for Desert Mountain. Not as much penalties. Nonetheless, penalties were there, and it had a bit of an impact, especially during the kickoffs. You know, Alex Weeks, great leg, but unable to make, doesn't have the super leg just yet. But again, the penalty action happens there, and it's going to be 1st and 15 to start off here, or 2nd and 15, excuse me, as Terry Cameron breaks in through the middle and able to get some good yardages there to catch it up and get the time, more importantly, going. And will be 3rd and manageable for the Wolves.
That's a great play by not just Cameron, but the line up front. Desert Mountain finally able to lean into their strengths, lean into that offensive line. They're able, they had guys 2, 3, 4 yards downfield. Cameron was untouched until he got past the linebackers.
Indeed, it did, and it looked like a glimpse of Ethan Ferber. Obviously with Desert Mountain struggling on the offensive or the defensive lineman. Looking a bit reminiscent there. He's been watching film there as he gets another similar play just like that. Just the yards after carriage, and we're going to have a penalty flag on the field. It might be going against Campo Verde, number 33, Cash Tappan.
Yeah, that's going to be unnecessary roughness. He just gave him an extra little shove at the end right there.
And it's going to be 15 yards added on, confirming by the referees. Indeed, sportsmanlike conduct on the team for Campo Verde. And just like that, change, continue, and one bad thing off the flag is the time stops there. So Desert Mountain unable to milk out as much as they can here, but the fresh set of downs there, and just expect another 3 running plays here for Cameron Terry. As now Desert Mountain in the red zone here. Surprised that Brady McDonough's still in the play here, Probably had the backup coming at this point, but still a lot of time here yet We're halfway done in this fourth quarter. He's gonna pass it, and he's gonna find a receiver in the vicinity. He's gonna be Freeberg, indeed. He wasn't said much in the second half as well after Dylan Tapley took over that last drive. So I believe that's his first catch in this the second half there. He stays inbound. Clock still continues. But weird passing attempt there from Brady McDonough. Maybe he just wants to add more onto his stats.
It's not anything about the Desert Mountain offense, though. It's just, I mean, we haven't said Freeberg's name. We haven't said anyone's name, really, in the second half because Desert Mountain hasn't had the ball a ton. I mean, I'd be willing to bet they've had the ball for less than 5 minutes in the second half.
Indeed, as Jack Freeberg attempts another pass here, finds no one. He was trying to get it into Jack Freeberg there on the out route, but pass is incomplete. We're at the 5-minute mark here, and, slowly, game's going to end soon. And, that brings it back to you, Steven. What are some questions you think you want to ask Coach Hamilton post-game? Are you going to try to touch on the defense on that run game, or are you going to want to look into the more positive suits? Like, what's going on?
It's going to be on the defense. I mean, obviously, you got to be happy if you're Coach Hamilton and your team right now, they're going to be 5-0. But it's really just, what are they going to be able to do up front? How is that defense going to play next week against Hamilton, or not Hamilton?
Horizon.
Horizon. I'm sorry. I had Hamilton, Higley, and Horizon all mashed up in my head. But against Horizon, it's going to be a tough task. And are they going to be able to hold up against that Horizon offensive line and running game?
So drive ends a bit short here. Going to end off on another field goal here for Alex Weeks to add on to the tally. Potentially going to make it a 34-12 lead for the Wolves, and under 5 minutes here, and it's going to give Campo Verde another shot in the offense as we pen Alex Weeks kickoff here, or excuse me, field goal. Trying to get ready here. Holder gets it. Alex Weeks gets his pump blocked, and it's going to be taken back. This could be a scary sight here for Desert Mountain, as we have number 23 for the defense making a huge play there. Gunnar Keel blocking a punt there. But what a great tackle there by Dylan Hip there. Never giving up on the play there and forcing the tackle. And just clear off my memory here, Steven. If Campo Verde able to take it to the house, is that a touchdown?
I mean, that is a touchdown because it's off of a field goal, not a PAT. So Hip made a great play blocking that, or not blocking, but tracking the guy down, being able to use his speed to get all the way downfield and prevent what would have been a touchdown. But for Desert Mountain, you just can't have a miscue like that. That play was completely blown up from the start. I mean, there was 2, 3, 4 guys right around the kick.
As Gunnar Hill unable to finish it off there, tackle made by Dylan Hip. And just like that, Shahan with ball possession again, and trying to find number 18 on the offense, Wyatt Roach, who's surprisingly, first time we mention his name. And more about why I say surprisingly, because on some notes, it's easily to mention that he's actually leading the team in receiving yards this year for Campo Verde, averaging 85 yards a game, with 1 touchdown under his name, and he's been absolute non-existent in today's game.
It's because Santana Wilson's been on him all night. I mean, this is probably only the second, maybe third time they've even thrown his way, as he's in there to get in on the tackle.
Indeed, as we have another run there from Ethan Ferber. And one thing that I noticed is he gets tripped off, and he's always head down first, just trying to get his balance there, and he's just able to get so many yards off of that carry. Gets the first down there, a gain of 11 yards, and Campo Verde not done just yet.
Yeah, he's such a talented back. He is the centerpiece of this offense. If Campo Verde is going to be able to essentially turn this season around in their section play, it's going to be all through him, basically.
Great catch there from number 10 on the offense, Bo Hansen. I think that was a catch. Hard to make out what happens here. Looks like it will be considered a catch, but what a play there from Shahan, trying to make the drive happen so far. He had 4 Desert Mountain players heading into his way, and he makes the incredible throw and able to connect with Hansen there.
Yeah, Shane's had a good second half. He's been mostly finding all of his open reads. There haven't been a ton of mistakes in the second half. It's just, can they lean? Really, I don't know if they could have done anything, but could have they leaned on that passing game more than the running game? Because with how much they ran it, they essentially took themselves out of the game just because of time.
Just essentially out of the time there as we have another running play from Ethan Ferberg. Good gain there of approximately 2 yardages there. It's going to be 3rd and short coming out for Campo Verde.
We've got an injury field.
If you have another injury player on the field, hopefully he's okay for Desert Mound. Getting up in his own power, it's going to be number 56. Steven Urbanski. Hopefully he's okay. Steven, what can you say about your brother Steven? No, I'm joking. So, good thing he's okay. But nonetheless, 3 minutes, 42 seconds left in this game. If you're Campo Verde here, you try and get that touchdown, and could you say game over, or you think you'll try to like get some tricksters out there and offsides maybe? You try to get something going here. I'm just throwing ideas out here, Steven.
I mean, you're down 3 scores. There's 3:42 to play. You'd got to move mountains and have several miracles go your way to turn it around. But if I'm Coach Freeman, I'm trying to get the touchdown, obviously, and you gotta just put a couple plays together, get something good to feel about going into next week. Whether it's the running game, maybe feel a little better about the passing game.
I think we're gonna have yet another fumble there. There's one thing that I like to mention. Ainson Ferber, he has his way with the running game. He makes good plays happen. But if the stats call me correctly, that's the 3rd time he coughed his ball out in this game alone. 3 turnovers off of great plays there. All these amazing drives, they're all coming up short. 3 points, fumble. No touchdown. The only touchdown that Campo Verde has was the big 6 before halftime. So that obviously summarizes tonight's game for Campo Verde.
Yeah, now Desert Mountain, they can't have a drive like they did their first drive in the half because same situation, force a turnover, and they're right up against the goal line. Can they, 1, avoid the safety, and 2, get more than just a 3 and out?
Indeed, as the backup running back Cameron Terry able to get some great yardages there, finds his way on the corner, stays in bounds, picks up a good yardages of 13, and drive continues even though that was first down, but more importantly, the clock just keeps on. I think the clock keeps on going. It's currently, there it is. It keeps on going now, and, that should probably do it for the team. What are you thinking right now, Steven?
I mean, if Desert Mountain can get this first down, if they could get another first down, and if they just keep the clock moving, it's all but written the game shut.
Indeed, as Brady McDonough still in the game here. Cameron Terry, the backup running back, coming in, able to get some good yardages here, and playing his sole purpose, just gets the yardages, held that penalty flag, or held the football as the penalty flag just gets thrown out there. That's the first thing I noticed. And it will be a face mask on Campo Verde there on Cameron Terry. He gets it going here as Lucas Blumen's going to head out here just shortly, holding on to that shoulder. Hopefully he's okay, but penalty flag continues on there for Campo Verde. And just like that, more yardages here for Desert Mountain. Now they're off the safe zone here. Now they could comfortably just run the ball down here. And just like that, 5-0 approaching here for Desert Mountain. Next week they're playing against Horizon. And great start to the season here. Defeating Verado High School in week 1. Defeating Sunrise Mountain week 2. Holding the Shell Boulevard rivalry game against Chaparral and coming out victorious 24-21. Edging out Marcel Jones and Chaparral. Last week defeating Cactus High School, the 5A runner-ups from last year. And now coming back home holding a great action here is Cameron Terry. He doesn't have much reps on the offense, but when he has his sunshine out here, he's making most of the plays happen, and he's showing and proving why he should be running back number 2 behind Max Sheffrin.
Yeah, Terry's had a great night. He's came in basically at half, and he's hitting the holes. He's had a few really huge runs for this Desert Mountain offense. He's been great tonight.
Absolutely. When he has been given the ball, he's been making same plays. Obviously the running games in today's game in the second half is especially much better on both sides. And obviously for Desert Mountain, that's not the expectation you want to know, because Coach Hamilton's obviously going to probably focus on that heading into this week's against Horizon's game. Nonetheless, under 2 minutes left, Cameron Terry gets the other ball, and those yards after carry, he's getting those yardages, and he's getting it very well here. As now 1 minute and 30 seconds here. Steven, thank you so much for joining us in tonight's call. He's going to go get the interview with Coach Hamilton and player of the game, Dylan Tapley, as he's going to get able to get the yardages going for the team. And just like that, 116 left in this game. Desert Mountain going to go 5-0 in the season here, as they're going to have a couple plays left in today's game, hosting Campo Verde. And Campo Verde showing some glimpse of life. The running game was showing off very well for the team, as Cameron Terry takes it for a couple yardages there. Might be enough for the first down here and essentially close the game here at Desert Mountain. Nonetheless, Campo Verde showing great insight, showing great enthusiasm, couple running plays, and a lot of drives able to end off in enemy territory for the Wolves, and just like that, and unable to convert. They unable to finish, able to get the touchdown here, and it's 12 points for Campo Verde, and one touchdown was in favor for the pick six that Brady McDonough uncharacteristically threw at the very end of the game, or at the end of the first half, and it looked like Campo Verde was going to make a great game happen so far. Nonetheless, no offense goes out. They get a field goal for Campo Verde, and that's about it. That writes it out. The drives were extremely too long in that third quarter, and just like that, victory formation for the Wolves. Ryan McDonough gets it going here. 45 seconds left in this game, and just like that, that will do it for the Wolves. Wolves will look onto their future. They will play against Horizon High School next week here at Desert Mound. Parker Garage and Stephen Buxton will be on call next week, so don't go anywhere. Join us next week. The Wolves are going to join the undefeated group in this year. Coach Hamilton suffice with the scoreline here. Desert Mountain's going to take off the victory here, 31-12 at their home. They go 5-0. You can know more about our information, the post-game, the pre-game interviews, the player of the game will be on Varsity Show on Twitter, at Varsity Show. Go look us up at X as well, also known as X, excuse me. My name was Sebastian Mandaka. I thank you so much for joining us in today's call. I was also joined today with Stephen Buxton, who's our current color commentator for the day. Can't forget about Tyler Parker, Austin, and Lorenzo on our back of the field for the highlights. Thank you so much for joining our live stream. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.